Really what I was doing was production design, but the title wasn't all that common at that time, and production designers earn more money than art directors. So I was the art director. I actually didn't know it was a stop motion picture to begin with, and I just knew it was an animated film. So I'd never worked in that medium before. So I thought if I employed enough tricks and gimmicks from working a 2D camera, but we use it with real elements, that would give it a bit of a different look. Well, firstly, my brief was to make it look like Tim did it. So we traced exactly the shapes and made sure that that was faithful to the style. He just said, look, Halloween Town is black, white and orange. And that was it. I thought about that and I thought, well, there's two ways I can go. I can stamp my feet and say that wasn't much of a brief and I need more, and if you want me to get it right. Or I can just make it black, white and orange. So I went for that. He wanted to be able to feel like if he ran his hand across Halloween Town, it would cut. So that was sort of a clue to the sharpness, the sort of balance of things. I like Christmas Town the least of the whole film, but that was the first thing we worked on. It had to just feel a little bit like Dr. Seuss, a little bit like old European Christmas window displays. The mayor's hearse was the first thing that I drew, and I deliberately made the wheels incredibly small to bulk up the hearse and just create like an interesting silhouette. And that sort of deception was used all the way through. And I did the mayor's hearse and then the train carriage. So that was just for me to see that come to life 3D and with the cheesy little cotton wool smoke. I thought it was just great, you know. The real world was sort of easy to do because you had those other two extremes. So we thought, wouldn't it be great if the real world was just flat? But not flat as in cut out, but flat as in this weird, distorted kind of reality. So we experimented with that and it drove the set people mad. Because it's incredibly difficult, especially when you've got things like staircases and complex shapes. They had a really military kind of operation to the sets. The process of design, building sets, mock-ups, quarter-scale models, all that stuff, that was sort of procedural. What I used to do was do a pastel, oil pastel drawing of every frame, which was sort of an extension of the design process. I worked with a rule of three, where you just remember three things. Select three very cool things to look at. Well, whoever's looking at it, untrained eye or not, your eye's going to connect. Danny put the songs together so quick that they became the story. And the decision for it to be a musical in the classic 11 songs or whatever it is just sort of fell into place. No one really knew how cool this was going to be. I remember the first footage I saw was Sally running from one tombstone to the other, and I was just gobsmacked. I had no idea it could come to life like it did. I reckon that film had a full-blown approved script, 26 drafts and all the rest of it, I think it would have suffered. It would have lacked its spontaneity. It wasn't good for 8-year-olds, it wasn't good for 12-year-olds. Adults just didn't get it. Oh yeah, now they love it. It's great.